Because my background is in psychology, we tackle issues that come from the behavioural sciences. So we've looked at sex differences, psychological sex differences between men and women, differences in interests in occupations. So we've published some articles on why there are fewer women in computer science, for example. And we published an analysis of James Damore's Google memo, written by 4 different scientists who have some expertise in that area. We've published on intelligence research.
What were some of the results of the James Damore one?
Yeah, well, they basically said that something pretty similar, that he was in the ballpark in terms of getting the science right, and his position is valid in terms of regular scientific debate. There are observable sex differences between men and women. The differences in interest in occupations is very robust and reliable. So women are overwhelmingly interested in occupations which have something to do with people. So caring professions, medicine, even law, whereas men have more interest in occupations that are to do with systems and things. So anything mechanical, computer science, and there's no difference between the average intelligence scores between men and women, and the evidence around differences in verbal and mathematical ability is somewhat mixed. I mean, you can have debates backwards and forwards over the strengths of those differences, but the difference in interest is very robust.
So why are people so afraid of that? Why is it that there is a set of people out there right now that want us to be all equal in their minds, but it would actually force us to go against nature? I mean, that's what this really is.
Well, there is a fear that if you acknowledge that there are differences between individuals or groups, that you're saying that one group is inferior. So there's been the idea that we have to be the same to be equal has been a very prevalent and strong idea. I don't know where the idea comes from, but it's dangerous, because if you argue that no true equality can be achieved unless we're all the same, then we can't have equality.
Yeah.
However, if you argue that no, we are all morally equal and that we deserve equal opportunity and we deserve equal opportunities to live a happy, flourishing life, however there are differences between us, then you can preserve that ethical principle. So it's very problematic for people who think that there can be no equality between men and women unless we're proven to be the same, identical, because the evidence doesn't support the idea that we're the same. We've published work on intelligence research, which is controversial. We published a defence of Charles Murray's The Bell Curve, because after he had his conversation with Sam Harris, Vox came out and wrote a hit piece or wrote some kind of article that misrepresented what they talked about and the bell curve. And so we published a response from Professor Richard Heyer, who's the editor of the Intelligence Journal. So he's a preeminent expert in this area. And he defended Charles Murray's book and defended the conversation that they had and said, this is an important issue, it's scientifically valid and has merit to talk about these issues, and they got the science right. So we don't aim to be provocative for the sake of just being inflammatory, right? We have an objective where we want to protect the scientists who are doing this work or who are having these conversations. We want to protect the individuals who are doing the knowledge production or the research. we want to protect them from the voxers and the journalists who just want to write hate pieces just to get the clicks. So we have a sort of a commitment to those people who are doing risky work and need that kind of protection.
Your job, in some respect, has become sort of like a force field to just allow people to do the work that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's right. Because universities, for all sorts of different reasons, are neglecting their duty to academic freedom, right? And academic freedom is meant to exist to protect scientists in particular who are doing work which contradicts the religious orthodoxy of the time or the moral orthodoxy. And it's quite clear to me that there are scientists doing work which challenges politically correct dogmas, and I don't see universities doing a very good job at protecting those scientists. And so we feel like we can fill the gap